tuning into today's video. Today we're going to have a look at loft in the putter and trying to achieve that perfect launch angle. So it's been widely accepted with the use of machines like Capto, Sam Putt Lab and Quintrek, that the ideal launch angle for a putt to take off is at about 1 to 2 degrees. Okay, so that 1 degrees, even as low as 0.75 on really slick greens, and you might need to get the ball up to about 2 degrees of actual launch by the time that the putt takes off on a slower green. So today we're going to use a Capto. It's here. It's stuck on the putter here. I'm going to show you how we do it actually. So I've set this putter at 4 degrees. We bring it over here. We put it on our little jig here. It's set 45 centimeters from the bottom of the putter. We press calibrate, and the machine will calibrate the putter. I lift it up this way. Okay, and this sensor is now ready to be played. Okay, this putter is ready to be played. So I'm going to hit some putts with 4 degrees loft and see how we go. Okay, so I've hit some putts. You can see here the launch height, 4.2 degrees up. The previous one was 4 degrees up, 4.5 degrees up. So there's a dynamic loft in the arc through impact, which it shows us all this information. This is way too high. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get it in the loft and lie machine. And we're going to take it down. I think down is probably as low as 1 degree for me. You see it's 4 there, if you can see that nice and close. 4 degrees. I'm going to take it down to 1. You can just zoom back and that's 0. Let's go into 1. Pretty soft putter, this one. There we go, we're right on 1 degree now. Okay. Take it back out of the machine. I'm going to recalibrate and then hit a few more putts. Alright, so I hit some putts with only 1 degree loft. The machine makes a little noise when it's still. So you can see here launch height 1.3 degrees, which is great. 0.7, that's probably a little bit low. 1.3, so a little bit inconsistent in where I had the dynamic loft here. So I've got a little bit more forward press. I'll explain that in a moment, right? But my arc 1.6. 1.1, 1.9 up, and that's getting these nice launch heights. Now if I have a quick look, this is now actually creating a little bit of a forward roll, Okay, in those last 3 putts, 1, 2, 3 putts, all forward roll. The previous 3, a lot of backspin here. Backspin, 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 too much backspin. Right, we can look at these other numbers, but there's a whole bunch of information here that we could go through. All right, so I'm getting close to those ideal numbers. I think I'm just going to add a little bit more loft on the putter and hit a few more putts and see if we get some nice numbers. So you can see, you'll hear pretty soon when I keep this putter still, you hear that little noise that says it's ready to go. So you just got to wait a few seconds before you hit each putt. I've just hit a couple of putts at about 1.5 degrees and we'll see how they've gone. Alright, so let's see the last couple of putts I've hit. Pretty much perfect really. Dynamic loft at 1.6. Arc through impact 1.5, the launch height at 1.6. The last putt, dynamic loft 1.6, arc through impact 1.6, launch height 1.6 degrees up. So there's some great numbers actually with that sort of loft on the ball. When we go through to the spin, the backspin energy loss is 0. So it has no backspin, it has no topspin. Okay, so you see those numbers. There's one called dynamic loft. So the dynamic loft is basically the loft of the putter. In this case is 1.5. And then the loft of the putter, the shaft I should say. So if you're leaning the shaft forward, you take that loft off. And if you're leaning it back, you add loft. So all these things are really personal. I mean, most putters come with 3 degrees of loft here, but it doesn't allow for this movement. Now I present my putter shaft fairly upright at about 0, between 1 degree either way. The next player will present their putter shaft this way or that way, and so these things you don't really know until we get a hold of one of these little Capto machines that we've just got this week. This gives us some real data. So next time you're in to SGT, you book yourself in for putter fitting. We can have a look at things like that. And try and get that optimal launch angle. You don't want the ball hitting the ground too quickly. You don't want it flying in the air, right? So it's very, very important when the pace of putt is key. So that's what we've had a good look at today. You'll see that for me, this particular putter, I should be at about 1.5 degrees of loft, but everybody's different, and next time you're in, we'll check it out. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you click on like and subscribe. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see, and we'll see you in the next video.